Hey there, language teachers. Does the idea of assessing speaking proficiency in your classroom stress you out? Maybe your students get anxious when they're put on the spot, or you're stuck wondering, how do I make these assessments feel natural and not terrifying? If that sounds like you, don't worry, you're in the right place. Today I'm sharing 3 easy, low-pressure strategies that you can use to measure speaking proficiency without turning your classroom into a stress zone. These tips are designed to make your life easier and help your students shine. Stick around. By the end of the video, you'll have some quick wins that you can try in your classroom today. Let's dive in. First things first, let's talk about setting the tone. If speaking assessments feel like high-stakes tests, your students are bound to freeze up. Instead, here are 3 simple strategies to make the experience feel natural and low pressure. First, use picture prompts for spontaneous speaking. Grab an interesting photo or illustration and ask students to describe what they see in 1 or 2 sentences. You can use fun, engaging images that spark their imagination. For example, show a picture of a busy market or a beautiful park and ask them to talk about what they see and hear. Focus on fluency rather than perfection. This keeps the pressure low and helps students feel successful. Quick tip: rotate the pictures each week and let students suggest images they'd like to describe. This keeps the activity fresh and relevant. Second, pair and share. Before students speak in front of the class or with you, have them practice their answers with a partner. For example, give them a simple prompt like, "What did you do last weekend?" or "Describe your favorite meal." Partners can help each other prepare, giving students a chance to organize their thoughts and feel more confident. Quick tip: encourage partners to ask follow-up questions to make the conversation feel more natural and dynamic. And third, chit-chat check-ins. Turn assessments into casual conversations. Ask your students how their weekend was, what their plans are for the holiday, or even what they think about a current event. These informal conversations give you a clear picture of their speaking proficiency while making the process enjoyable and less intimidating. Bonus idea: incorporate props like a toy microphone or a talking stick to make these conversations even more fun for younger students. Try one of these strategies this week and watch your students relax and actually enjoy speaking. All right, let's move on to something super important: focusing on communication rather than nitpicking every little mistake. The goal here is to encourage students to express themselves, even if their grammar or vocabulary isn't perfect. Here are 3 actionable strategies to make that happen. First, use real-life scenarios. Create tasks where students use the language in practical, real-world situations. For example, pretend to order food at a restaurant, ask for directions in a new city, or role-play making plans with a friend. These scenarios feel relevant and relatable, making students more likely to engage. Plus, you're assessing their ability to communicate meaningfully rather than just memorize vocabulary. Second, give students choice. Let them pick topics they're passionate about. For instance, one student might want to talk about their favorite sports team, while another might love discussing their favorite video game. When students care about the topic, their enthusiasm shines through, and their speaking becomes more authentic. Quick tip: create a list of broad topics and let students choose from there. Examples include hobbies, travel, family traditions, or even their favorite movies. And third, incorporate technology. Using tools like Flipgrid or simple voice recording apps to let students record their responses. The beauty of this method is that students can re-record if they're not happy with their first attempt, which reduces pressure. Plus, you can review the recordings at your convenience. Bonus idea: have students create short video responses to prompts, which can double as a portfolio of their progress throughout the year. Focusing on communication instead of perfection is a game changer. Students will feel encouraged to try, knowing that the goal is to be understood, not flawless. And before we dive into our last set of strategies, I've got something exciting to share with you. If you're loving these tips and want even more practical strategies for teaching proficiency-based language skills, you've got to check out Comprehensible 2025 Conference. It's packed with sessions from amazing presenters covering topics just like this. And the best part, it's all online, so you can watch whenever and wherever it's convenient for you. Head over to mm.us/conference to learn more. All right, back to it. Finally, let's talk about feedback. A speaking assessment isn't complete without giving students the tools they need to improve. But the key here is to make your feedback clear, actionable, and encouraging. Here are 3 ways to do just that. 1. Highlight the strengths first. Start by pointing out something your students did really, really well. For example, your pronunciation of given specific word was excellent, or I loved how confident you sounded when you talked about your weekend. When students hear what they're doing right, they're more motivated to keep going. Quick tip, write down these strengths so students can see their progress over time. It's a great confidence booster. 2, use one growth point. Instead of overwhelming students with a long list of corrections, focus on one specific area for improvement. For example, next time try to use the past tense verbs more consistently. Or work on adding more detail to your answers. This keeps feedback actionable and manageable. And 3, peer-to-peer feedback. Teach your students to give each other constructive feedback. Use a simple framework like I liked and next time you could. This not only builds a supportive classroom community, but also helps students learn to evaluate language use critically. Bonus idea, pair up students of different proficiency levels to encourage collaborative learning. When feedback is simple and encouraging, students feel supported and empowered to grow. And there you have it, 3 simple ways to make speaking assessments stress-free for both you and your students. Which of these strategies are you most excited to try? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear how they work for you. And if you're ready to dive even deeper, check out my next video, 10 Minutes to the Perfect Speaking Rubric. It's simpler than you think. It's full of practical tips to take your assessments to the next level. I'll see you over there. Until then, happy comprehensible input.